There you go. That's better. Now you can see me. It would be awesome if we could do some kind of Periscope where I could see you guys as well, or just like bring one of you on the call. Maybe Periscope will sort that out at some point. Just saw Brian join. Good evening, Brian. Just saw who did I just see there? Rich has just joined from Miami. Rich, welcome, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Rich is one of the Bulletproof Actors, and he's killing it. Hope you got your meeting sorted, Rich. For the UK, I think you were going to do some meetings, weren't you, in May or something like that? Let us know if you're going to be over here, mate, and we'll grab a brew. That would be cool. So good evening, everybody. For those listening on the audio experience or watching the replay on YouTube, massively appreciate you as always. Give me a tweet at ActOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant. Let me know where you're viewing from. Let me know what you think of what we're going to talk about tonight. That is genuinely, I say like that's like my oxygen, guys, but I love it. I just love getting comments. It's like a little fix, of like some kind of like, I'm like a drug addict, but for comments on social media where people are actually watching the content that I'm putting out. I love it. So do let me know what you think of what we're talking about tonight. It's book club, guys. It's Wednesday night. We're looking at, for the last time, it's the last one this month, Brendan Burchard's book, The Motivation Manifesto. This is the fourth time we've looked at it, and it's a brilliant book. I know it looks dead serious. I've said this every scope I've shown you this book. I said I know it looks like a Bible, and people will be like, "Oh, that looks like a boring book," but it's not. It's genuinely an awesome book. Brendan Burchard is a great guy. He does a great podcast called The Charged Life. I'd recommend that to everybody as well. And we've looked at like 3 topics so far this month. First week we looked at fear and how fear literally can cripple you and what you can do to to kind of get over that. Then we looked at the amount of action you're taking in your career to get what you want. What did we look at last week? What was last week's all about? God, I can't remember what we were looking at last week. When we pull it up on here, what were we talking about on the book club last week? We were looking at sustaining and amplifying motivation. Because motivation is a word that's just thrown around, isn't it? So much like, oh yeah, and like it's a buzzword. I think it gets a bit of shit really, actually, as well, because people are like, oh, just a motivational speaker or whatever, and people don't think motivation lasts. And external motivation doesn't always last. But when you can learn to create motivation internally and manufacture it for yourself so that you wake up in the morning driven and you amplify that emotion, that's when people like really get shit done. And that's when people excel. So that's what we looked at last week. And then this week, we're looking at something that I think is really important. A lot of actors, give me some hearts if you agree with this, and give me some yeses or any comments, feel sometimes that their like acting career is running away from them because they're having to focus on other shit in their life, other stuff, things just get in the way. Mums, kids get in the way when you're a mum and an actress. I know that's a problem for quite a lot of women. Guys, you might have other jobs as well that you've got to do. Ricky's saying yes. And then people feel that, Dawn's saying, yeah, people feel that they're not concentrating enough on their career. And it's like, they feel rusty or out of touch. And it's because I think a lot of the time they're not clear on exactly what they want. They don't have clarity and an agenda. And that's what we're going to look at tonight. We're going to look at reclaiming your agenda. But I want to remind everybody, and I've said this a few times before, because acting is such a personal thing, as in like you are bringing yourself to everything that you are doing, every audition, every scene you shoot, every theatre play, whatever. Whenever you are working on yourself in any capacity, and even if that is being a mum, for the next week or whatever, and you can't focus on anything else because your kid's got chicken pox or something. That was one actress who spoke to me this week. The kid's got chicken pox. They can't like do anything. They can't leave the house, go anywhere. They've got to look after the kid. And that's like, it's an awesome job. It's a privilege to have that job as a mother, to be able to look after this child, which is great. And don't forget that experience you're having by doing that is bringing you stuff that you can implement into your acting career later down the line. If you have to play a mother in something whose kid is ill, you're going to have developed that emotion and that emotional intelligence, through your experience that you feel is not working on your acting career, but you will later on down the line be able to implement that into your work. So don't worry too much. If you are working on yourself, you are working on your acting career, right? Everything affects everything. So if you're becoming a better person, you're becoming a better actor, all right? So never forget that. Don't feel that you're, oh God, I've let my acting career completely go. If you're developing as a person, you're always developing as an actor. Ricky's saying people watching for character inspiration. Yeah, that's good, man. It's legit. Sometimes I will sit in coffee shops and just watch the world go by, and I love that. You see some incredible characters in coffee shops, libraries. You see incredible characters as well. Get out there and do a bit of people watching it. That is definitely good for characterization. So tonight we're going to be looking at how you can kind of reclaim control of your career and your life, because you can implement this into many different areas of your life by reclaiming what Brendan classes as your agenda. All right. That was, Steve said, yeah, him and Lee were doing that in Stretford the other day. Stretford's an interesting place, not very far away from where I live. Steve, and yeah, there's definitely some interesting characters in Stretford Mall. It's kind of died out since the big shopping centre, the Trafford Centre, opened. Stretford's kind of gone to rack and ruin, but it's got some very interesting people knocking about. So within this book, guys, there's different declarations that Brendan goes through. Okay, and this is declaration number 2, and it says, "We shall reclaim our agenda." And I just think it's really important for you to always, it's a bit like goal setting, always check in with yourself on what you're aiming for right now, what your agenda is. An agenda isn't a negative thing. People just go, "Oh, what's his agenda?" You know, that's people associate a negative connotation with the word agenda. It's not. Your agenda is literally, you know, what you are trying to achieve right now, why you are doing what you are doing, you know, and what you aim to get from that. So you can have a very positive agenda. And I'm sure everyone on here, your agenda is very positive, okay? And you're aiming to be more successful in your life, in your career. And as always, you know, we say this all the time, I think everyone on here is a force for good. And, you know, we're putting, you know, goodness and greatness out into the world. So I'm going to read, it's only like four pages. That's what I like about Brendan's book. I'm going to read you like 4 pages of this, guys. We'll stop at various times to discuss some points. I'm going to try and keep engage with you looking into the camera. I'm going to try and keep engaged with the comments on my iPhone down here, and I'm going to try and read the book all at the same time, and with little peripheral vision. Those will know I've got an eye condition. I find that quite difficult sometimes, so bear with me if I miss a comment. I will stop and ask for comments as we go through. So as always, Brendan starts this chapter off with a quote, and this is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says, "The day is always his who works with serenity and great aims." Okay, so maybe you got up this morning without an aim in your life and in your career and in your agenda for today. And that's why you might be sat there now thinking, you know what, I don't feel productive. I feel busy, but not productive. And there's a very big difference between being busy and being productive, where you feel you're being pushed and pulled in all directions and your agenda isn't clear because other people are putting their issues onto you. And ultimately, you know, they're creating your agenda for you. Okay, so you've got to have aims. I've got lots of Ralph quotes around my house, says Fanny. Excellent, Fanny. Well, here we go. So Brendan says, "Human nature steers us towards self-reliance and freedom, all right? Nothing burns more fiercely in our soul than the desire to be ourselves and pursue our dreams, all right? I think that's very, very true. You know, I hope everyone here has a dream, all right? And you are like burning fiercely in your soul. And so the great joys in life come when we are spontaneous and authentic each day while engaging in activities that we care about. And the great miseries of life come when too many days stack up where we are conforming and posing while doing things we have no passion for. I did that for 11 years in a really shit job in retail that I hated. I was kidding myself that I needed to be there for stability. I had the fear. I had loads of limiting beliefs around why I had to stay there and I couldn't pursue my acting career. And I stayed there ultimately, I reckon, 5 or 6 years too long. The day I actually got out of doing that thing I had no passion for was the best day of my life, guys, all right? And I would recommend, if you are in that position, don't jump into nothing, but start looking at how you can transition out of that shit job that you hate and have no passion for, all right? And that's probably one for another Periscope entirely, and we've spoken about that many times before. But yeah, we've got to get over this fear of conforming ultimately and just doing what everyone else does, because you're only ever going to have what everyone else has, which is generally not enough or not what they want. So he says, in these truths, we find a unit for measuring how our freedom is being expressed or not expressed. Our individual days, okay? Did we spend today being ourselves, expressing our true voice and sincere feelings and innate power? Or did we spend the vast majority of the day doing meaningful activities rather than being slave to distraction or useless endeavour? All right, both good things. Turning the page, for those on the audio experience, it's quite difficult holding all this at once. Life has a way of being easily torn from us day by day. We forget what we want and we get distracted. We do what others tell us to do. We say yes to so many things that we end up with no time to do the things that matter to us. And this is the reality of the masses. Give me some yeses or some hearts if that's you. Do you feel that's you at the moment? Are you saying yes to everybody else and no to yourself? Is your agenda being dictated to you by family members, by your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your boss? Anyone in the acting industry, other actors, your agent, I don't know. Are you saying yes to... Do you know what? I had to say no to an audition this week that my agent got me to present some awards for a really big... It's actually a really big, really well-known media company. And I had to say, no, I don't want to do it, because the old Ross, a few years ago, would have said, yeah, I'll do it. And I would have just wanted to please my agent, and I was not being authentic to myself because they wanted this presenter. If it was presenting as myself, I'd be well up for it. But they wanted me to present like Johnny Depp in the Mad Hatter in the Alice in Wonderland, as the Mad Hatter, which is like one of those. It's just not me. It's one of those really eccentric, woo, crazy kind of characters, and wear crazy clothes and put white face paint on and all that kind of stuff. Not me at all. Old Ross, who was conforming to doing what everyone else wanted him to do, probably 10 years ago, would have been like, yeah, okay, and I'd have gone for it. I'd have been thoroughly miserable, completely uncomfortable, not authentic to myself. Sounds like my ideal role, says Fanny. For you, it would be Fanny. For me, just not at all. And I had to say, listen, I've got to be authentic and true to myself, Jane. I'm really sorry. This is not me. And they'd specifically asked for me as well. It wasn't like a general thing, which I was very grateful for and flattered. But I was just like, regardless of the money, I just don't want to do it. And sometimes, you've got to say yes to yourself and no to other things. You could do that, Fanny, says Dawn. Yeah, you definitely could, Fanny. Without a doubt. I think they're after a male, though, unfortunately, but you could definitely do it if you were the female version. So we've got to say yes to ourselves, even if it means saying no to people we care about. And I care, greatly about my agent. She's an amazing person. Don't want to upset her, obviously. But then she came back today with an audition for a BBC drama I'm going for tomorrow. Way more up my street. Very happy about it. I'll definitely say yes to that. So Brendan says, but freedom and greatness belong to those who master their day. Okay, they have an entirely different level of control over the agenda and direction of their life. Thank you, Caroline. She says, good luck. Their days mean something to them because they know each day gathers force toward a particular destiny. Thanks, Julia. Good luck as well, she says. So their days mean something to them because they know each day gathers force towards a particular destiny. It's as though they imagine themselves standing before their creator at the end of their lives and having answered his questions. Now, regardless of whether you're religious or not, I'm not particularly religious, but listen to this because this is interesting, okay? You've got to imagine, and I do an exercise in the Bulletproof Actor program that I run, opening again in June. Go to bulletproofactor.com if you're interested. And I do an exercise with everyone in that called A Conversation with Your Maker. And that's where basically I get people to imagine the situation where they sit down with whoever they think their maker is. It could be, it could be God, could be the universe, could be anything at all. It's not religious or anything like that. And their maker says to them, listen, Tony, Fanny, anyone who's on here tonight, what is it that has stopped you in your life becoming more than you already are? What is it? I've given you this amazing world with unlimited possibility and opportunity into it. But what is it that has stopped you from becoming more than you already are today? And I get everybody to give me all of their excuses. And then I say, listen, right? Yes, those excuses are valid. A lot of people have valid excuses. They've had terrible things happen to them. But then I put this to them. I say, listen, how would those excuses wash with a Holocaust survivor? And they suddenly go, oh, shit. I say, how would those excuses wash with, and I use an example of an amazing guy who was an Afghanistan and Iraq veteran in the US Army who had both of his legs and both of his arms blown off and still gets up every single day and makes a difference in the world. Super inspiring guy. And they go, oh, okay, yeah, maybe those excuses wouldn't stack up. So that's a great exercise you can kind of play with yourself. To actually go, what are the things that I am kidding myself that are stopping me from being better than I already am? Are they really going to wash with my maker if at some point I have to sit down and kind of say, this is why I didn't go for it? So Brendan has similar questions here. His questions are, did you use the time that I gifted you each day to be a purposeful being? Everything is relative, says Fanny. It totally is, Fanny, but you've got to realise the opportunity that you have got by being born in the UK, having internet access right now, having, still, yes, people have had terrible things. We've had people on the Bulletproof Actor program who have had, massive things happen to them. Suicide attempts, parents who have committed suicide, abuse, sexual abuse, all kinds of things. And we've still been able to go through the program and use those things that sound so terrible to actually empower those people on the program and not actually disempower them. And I know it's all relative, it really, really is, but ultimately you've got two choices. You either let these things rule you, or you rule them and you own the shit out of them and you go, right, this is it. I'm not going to be a victim of this anymore. I'm going to stand up and be the victor of my situation and my circumstance. Otherwise, the alternative is pointless. It's just pointless. If you want to achieve anything in life, you've got to get your head around the fact you can no longer play the victim in any circumstance. I know, it's not going to kill me, right? But I know I'm probably going to be blind by 50, right? And I mean like nothing, no sight, okay? And that I could use that to go, right, well, you know what? There's just fuck all point in me doing anything with my life because I'm never going to be able to see it eventually. All this kind of stuff. I could use other things in my life that have happened to me that have been bad. Lost my dad at 24. My mum's blind. There's just been issues in my life, as there are with everybody else. And everything is relative, of course it is. And this eye condition isn't going to kill me, but it's going to be life-changing, all right? And I could just stand there and go, right, well, I've got all the excuses in the world not to do shit. But I use that to motivate the shit out of me to get up every day and just go to bed every night with the tank empty. And you've got to do that. You've got to stop using these excuses as reasons for procrastination, as reasons to not do stuff. Your mother is blind. Did not know that, Ross. Yeah, it's genetic, Fanny, so it's hereditary, this condition. Still gets on the trampoline, though. Yes, she does, Steve. I posted a picture on Instagram of my mum on the trampoline. Bless her. She had odd socks on. She can't see what colour her socks are. But yeah, she was still on the trampoline at my brother's house that his kids have got at the weekend over Easter. Amazing woman. But yeah, and she's an incredible inspiration to me. She doesn't let anything stop her from doing what she wants to do. So we've got to stand up to our circumstances, and no matter how relative they are, and that girl who always super inspires me, the girl, I can't remember her name, bless her, who was shot in the head by the Taliban because she wanted to go to school in Afghanistan. She's now won a Nobel Peace Prize and, travels the world, working for, women's education. Incredible. She was left for dead by the Taliban at 13 years old, all because she just wanted to go to school. That's it. So your excuses that you guys are using, to not be your best selves or be more than you are right now, are they going to wash with somebody like that who's like, mate, I was traveling to school on a bus and the Taliban got on and shot me in the head, left me for dead, and you're complaining because you can't get out of your dead-end job because you feel you've got to be there and you've got no opportunity. It's bullshit, all right? It's just bullshit. No time for it. So these questions, back to Brendan anyway, right? Did you use the time I gifted you each day to be a purposeful being? Did you follow your own path and make your time count? How faithfully did you tend to the dream I sowed in your soul? I think it's a beautiful expression. Matt, I think that was said, we don't know the half of what goes on. No, we don't, Matt. Absolutely. I think it was Matt. Apologies if I read that wrong. My eyes aren't very good. That's a beautiful expression, that, isn't it? How faithfully did you tend to the dream I sowed in your soul? It's amazing, isn't it? Because there are dreams that you will have sowed into your soul. Put that. Caroline says you're going to put that in the Facebook group later on. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, guys, facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. Awesome group. Are you tending to that? Right now, it's as though they awoke each day. So the people who win, Brendan says, it's as though they awoke each day knowing these questions would come. It's as though each morning they hurled a shining spear of purpose far into the fields of the future and then made their mission to go pick it up and throw it once more forward. That's, again, is a man with amazing words. So picture yourself throwing a shining spear of purpose far into the fields of the future. It's like hitting a golf ball, isn't it? Then you've got to go find it and then whack it again, or throw your spear again. Gorgeous, says Fanny. In their daily struggles to reach the goal, they were focused, they were unbending, they were diligent. If they ever felt lost, they had the presence of mind to stop and think, am I on the right path? Am I moving towards what I desire? If they found themselves sidetracked in the valley of despair and distraction, they knew to lift their head, to climb to a high vantage point to see where their journey was leading them. And if it was where they desired to go, look for that shining spear and reorientate themselves to it, to find once more the horizon line of their greater destiny. They carried on this way with stunning commitment. They had their own aim in life, and they awoke each day loyal to that case and ablaze with passion for it. They never let up despite the struggle and hardship, always thrusting their intent into the distance, always seeking it, always finding a way over or through any obstacle until they ended up either in the land of their dreams or with the angels for having died trying. It's just wonderful, isn't it? Good words, Brendan. What they did not do was waste their days meandering about or marching under the banner of someone else's ambition. Bobby's here as well. Good evening, Bobby. Just had loads of comments come through. Maybe Periscope halted up for a second there. So yeah, that's great, isn't it? What they didn't do was waste their days meandering about or marching under the banner of someone else's ambitions. Can't remember whose quote it was, but they said something like, you've got two choices. You either spend your time building your own dream, or inevitably you're going to spend your time building someone else's. Contrast their life agenda with the world's stragglers and complainers who are undirected, passionless, and afraid of work. They fail to cast their intention into the world, or if they do, they allow themselves to be distracted rather than follow their desires to the end. So we're going to talk about the people who don't win now, okay? They fail to peer above their immediate tasks, to see where they were headed, preferring the illusory sense of progress at having checked off some trifling task. They are too fearful or too lazy or too pulled by the clatter of other people's demands to chase their own dream. Don't ever build someone else's dream, someone just put there. They do not strive with real desire and discipline. They make excuse after excuse and tell story after story about why they cannot advance or scale the mountain. They feel no responsibility to fully activate their latent powers. They live unconsciously or in quiet denial, unable to face the truth that their own agenda is strangely absent or insignificant. How do you know if you're lazy, says Fanny? Well, the best way to find out if you're lazy is just look at your past achievements and go, have I achieved anything in my life? What have I done this week? What have I achieved? This is why I say basically physically writing down 3 wins for your day every single day before you go to bed. That's going to tell you whether you're lazy or not. If you can write down 3 good things that you've done that day, and they don't have to be that, I climbed Mount Everest and I won £1 million, or whatever it is. They have to just be 3 things that you're like, actually, that was great. 3 little wins. I spent time with someone I've not seen for ages. I wrote a scene of a play that I'm writing. I wrote 3 pages of a book I want to write. I wrote a song today. Anything. I was a great parent today. Whatever. Write down 3 things, and then you can always look back. The beautiful thing with that is you can look back on a day you're feeling a little bit shit and go, wow, look at all these things over the last month, 2 months, 3 months, 3 years that I've achieved. And it just makes you feel great, and that's going to give you that internal motivation, that internal drive that we spoke about on last week's Periscope. So, let's have a look. Where were we up to? So the mark of greatness will never be seared into their soul because they did not stay true and faithful to themselves or their mission, all right? You've got to get clear on your mission as well, guys. What actually is your mission? I put a quote out today on Instagram that said, when you are like blindly believe in your mission, then, the opinions and doubts of the doubters and other people just don't matter. They really don't matter. You've just got to really believe in your mission. So we are one or the other, all right? So we're basically either the striver with the spear of purpose or the distracted straggler with the excuse, all right? Another great quote is one I use all the time, and that's if you really, really, really want it, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse, guys, all right? So which will be our reality? Which is going to be your reality, okay? Shall we allow ourselves to be directionless in life, ripped from any purpose by the demands of others and all the distractions of the world, or shall we finally get serious about the fact that our days will become weeks and weeks will become months and months will become years and decades and a lifetime either won or lost, joyful or regretful, purposeful or squandered? I'm going to read that again because it's great. Are we going to get serious about the fact that our days will become weeks and weeks will become months and months will become years and decades and a lifetime either won or lost, joyful or regretful, purposeful or squandered? And the thing is, like, the choice is just yours, guys. You have the choice. Let us make this day, and I want us to make this Periscope tonight. This is like Periscope 179, I think, that we've done, right? Let's make today the day we take back our life's agenda, everybody, right? From the grips of conformity and distraction, let us have our aim in life and move toward it swiftly and diligently. Let us not forget that our simple efforts and daily triumphs can gather weight and motion to become an unstoppable force toward a focused and free life. Now, I'm going to put a video out on Friday that talks about this, guys. And has anyone ever heard of something called the slight edge? The slight edge basically is a principle that your life and your success is not dictated to you by the big decisions you make in life, but by the small decisions that you make every single day, okay? And the things that you think are trivial today, and they can be things like, say, for instance, your health. Great book, says Tony. Yeah, it's a really good book. We're probably going to do it on Book Club, The Slight Edge. But imagine, for instance, you're trying to get healthy, right? And you choose something unhealthy for your dinner today, okay? And I say you decide, right? It's your decision to have a cheeseburger for your dinner today, all right? It's a trivial decision that isn't going to make you unhealthy tonight, okay? And if you have a cheeseburger tomorrow for lunch and every day this week, those trivial decisions probably aren't going to make you healthy next week or next month. But if you choose and you decide to have a cheeseburger every single day this year, then that trivial decision you're making each day is going to have a compound effect a year down the line. You're going to be overweight, high cholesterol, high visceral fat levels, and you're going to be unhealthy. And your acting career and your life is exactly the same. Okay, so the big decisions you make, you probably only have to make 2 or 3 big decisions a year, if that. Your success is really compounded by the small, trivial, seemingly trivial decisions that you make every single day. Okay, and that's going to be part of your agenda and taking control back of your life, which is what we're going to look at in a minute. But I'm going to put a video out, a little 1-minute video on that on Friday. Have a look out for that in the on the Facebook page. So Brendan says, look, we can design our life agendas so that our daily planner is no longer the object of resentment, but rather a thing of beauty, okay? A stunning log of our enjoyment of life and progress toward freedom and transcendence. We can emancipate our schedules from meaningless tasks and in the process lift ourselves to higher standards and higher planes of joy and purpose. We can, through conscious design and vigilant protection of our time and agenda, take back our destiny and make each day artful and fulfilling. But to do so, we must take a long, unflinching look at our habit of giving our lives and agendas over to others or to meaningless things. So many people just give their agenda over to other people. All right, we have to say no more to that. We have to say no, like way more often as well. We have to focus more. We have to fight harder to safeguard our time and our dreams and our souls. Last little bit, and I'm going to show you a tool that I use every night to take control of my time, all right? Let us now get serious about our days and who we are becoming because of them. I told you about this before. A friend of mine as well, guys, this is something that hit me tonight. A friend of mine, his brain tumour's come back, and it's pretty much game over now in terms of weeks, right? He's been fighting this for quite a long time. And he put a thing out on Instagram that hit me today that just said, like, one of the most important things in your life, and I think it's true, is time, because it's something that, no matter what you have in your life, no matter how much you've achieved, you can never get back. And that's obviously very much on his mind right now. So we've got to use the time that we've got and we've been blessed with, for those of us who don't have weeks left to live, to really get in on top of our agenda and just getting the shit we wanna do done. It's sad, Julie. It's really sad. This guy I went to school with. Everyone has the same amount of hours in the day. They do, absolutely. So we've got to get serious about this, right? It's time to value the hour once more, right? Let's look at this and value every hour, okay? And refuse to give up our lives to the world's distractions and nonsense, all right? It's time to make our own way and get back our day, okay? For this, we declare, and we all declare right now, write this in the comments, write this if you agree with me, we shall reclaim our agenda, okay? That's where the chapter ends. We shall reclaim our agenda. And I'm going to just show you a really simple tool that I that I use every night. Well, you know what? Kind of just every day, constantly throughout the day, on my phone and on my computer that's here, just this screen right here. And it syncs to my laptop and everything. Yes, I want to reclaim, damn it, says Fanny. Everybody's saying yes. And I've mentioned this tool before, but I've never really shown you it, and I've never really shown people how I use it before. And I use it really simply, but I'll show you now, and you'll get a little behind the curtains kind of look at, of my day tomorrow, my month this month, and basically kind of, how I track what I'm doing. I set my goals at the start of every year, and I track them in something completely different. I track them in something called Evernote, okay? But I use something called Workflowy, to track my daily agenda, okay? Ross, is the rest of the book this amazing? Yes, it is, Mary. Honestly, it's a great book. I always judge a book by its cover, and it looks shit. You'd look at that in a shop and go, Brendan, come on, man. It's the least inspirational book ever, but it's such a great book. He's like an absolute wizard with words. Those words you've heard tonight about, having your dreams sewed into your soul, and all the stuff about the spear. It's amazing. He's great. Buy the book. You'll see if you go to actonthis.tv and you just look on any of the book club replays from this month, you'll see a link underneath the video where you can actually link through to Amazon and buy it. It's not expensive. It's about a tenner, I think. It's a great book. Or buy the audio book, even if you don't like reading. But if someone could write this in the comments for me, okay? The website I use and the app that I use is called workflowy.com, okay? So if someone could just type that for me so people can see it. It's work and then FLOWY.com. Workflowy.com. It is the simplest listing app you will ever see in your life. It's not rocket science. It's very easy. It's basically a list of bullet points that you can create sub-bullet points. You can hashtag things. Thank you. I can't see who is writing that, but workflowy.com, appreciate you for writing that for me. Workflowy.com, Richard just put it up as well. Awesome. And yeah, literally you are creating main bullet points and then sub-bullet points under those. And you can hashtag things, so you can, write a hashtag next to something, so you can then click on that and then bring up hashtags, anything, any entry you ever made with that hashtag and that kind of stuff. Maisie, thank you, Maisie. So let me just show you this. It's going to be very small, guys, if you're using an iPhone to view this, so I apologize. You're not going to be able to see it very well. But let me read this to you. You're going to see how let me bring up this list. Are you seeing my list? You should be seeing my Workflowy list. Yeah, okay. You're seeing Act on this at the moment, but one sec, it's going to flip over. There you go. Okay, you're going to see here, right? This is just basically what I am doing. So I've got a list up here that says today. Now that's actually because I've written that tonight. That's actually tomorrow, okay? But when I wake up in the morning, that's the things that I'm going to do. So they're the three things. That's what I call my punch list. I've spoken about punch lists before. I know it's tiny, Carolina. I'm sorry. I wonder if I zoom in, if you guys will benefit from the zoom. Maybe you will, or maybe you won't. I don't know how this is actually gonna work. But let's see if this actually zooms in at all. Is anything zooming in? Oh, it is. It's zooming in a bit. Let me see if I can continue to zoom so we can make this like massive for you. How big is that? Can you see it any better? Better, that's working. I'm going to keep zooming. Just see if it's getting any better. Once more, says Steve. Let's have a look. View, zoom in. Okay, right. So hopefully you can see a bit of this. So I have different things here, right? So I have today, okay, and this is going to be tomorrow. So I make every night, and this is normally before I come on a Periscope, because after Periscope I go to bed, right? So I've got today, and this is going to be what I'm doing tomorrow. My 3 things that are going to highest points of contribution working towards my goals, okay? And they are tomorrow, smash my audition. I've got an audition for a new drama called Age Before Beauty, okay? That's not my top agenda, right? I've got a dentist appointment before that, but it's not really that important to me. So smash my audition for Age Before Beauty. That's the thing that's going to take me, that's the highest point of contribution to my goals to have a successful acting career right now. Great drama, great opportunity, nice role. Would love to bag that. That would be great. So that's number 1. Then I've got prepare phone prompt script for Friday. So I'm recording. Do you know what, guys, as well? Like, I'm not saying this to as a oh, look at me. I'm not doing that at all. I want to inspire people to actually really dedicate themselves to both their acting career, their voiceover career, if you want one. I'm recording a phone prompt script on Friday. You might think of phone prompt scripts, boring, right? Whatever. I'm just very grateful to have any voiceover work at all. I make everything. I'm enthusiastic about every single job, no matter what it is. I've had some crazy jobs that would seem boring at the front, but the people you're working with are great, and it's my job to make every script, no matter how mundane, exciting and great for the client. I'm recording a phone prompt script on Friday. Ridiculously privileged. It's going to pay me the equivalent of what I used to work in my dead-end job. It's going to pay me nearly 3 months' wages, right? And it's going to take me less than an hour to record. Don't look. Too many actors look at voiceover as something they do on the side. And it's bullshit. I earn so much more money out of voiceover than I do out of acting. And all the actors out there who will tell you how hard voiceover is, and they've been trying at it for, 6 years, and they're still not getting anywhere, and they've written to this, that, and the other. Don't believe the hype when they tell you just how hard everything is, right? If it's hard for them, it doesn't mean it's going to be hard for you. Maybe you're more talented, maybe you've got better networking capabilities, maybe you just have a better knack for voiceover, you're more dedicated, you're committing yourself really to it. I've committed myself fully to this for 12 years, equally as much as I have to my acting career, and it's an incredible part of my life. Don't just pass it off as something you do on the side, guys. Don't, right? And I'm probably creating competition myself by kind of telling you all this, but it's an incredible industry that if you embrace, it will embrace you as well, all right? And then my third thing for tomorrow, upload the book club. I'm going to upload this replay to the website because I want everybody, obviously, to, to benefit from this. I'm going to upload it to iTunes as well and Stitcher for those people on the audio experience. You can't see this punch list, but, by listening to it, you are part of it because you're hearing this. Listen to your own truth. It's your journey, no one else's, Maisie just said. Exactly. So that's my 3 things for tomorrow. So I would say if you want to reclaim your agenda for tomorrow so that you are not being ruled by other people's, emergencies or things other people are putting onto you, write down the 3 things you envisage yourself getting done tomorrow, okay? And visualize yourself doing them because just literally by writing them down, studies have shown you have a 50% higher chance of actually following through and completing that task. So they're my 3 things. Then you will see, for this week, if I scroll down a bit, these are things that I've got to do this week, okay? So I've got to email Chelsea, she's the head of PR at Hollyoaks, to book Haisha Mystery for an Acts on This TV podcast. She just landed a role in Hollyoaks. Awesome actress, great girl, has got the same agent as me. So I know I've got to get her on for a podcast. We share the same agent, got to get her on, hear about that. Young actress, killing it right now. I think it's going to be a really interesting podcast. You won't understand what this is, but I've got to review all the Meet Edgar posts. Meet Edgar is a piece of software I use to post to social media automatically for me. There's about 300 posts that I have scheduled. A lot of them are old now. I've got to go through and just delete a lot of them, really, that are no longer relevant. I'm going to book my friend Nav BK in for a YouTube channel live broadcast. He's the king of YouTube. He's built a YouTube channel from 0 to over 500,000 subscribers in less than 2 years. I want to know how he's done it. I want to know all the insider tactics. I want you to know them as well. So we can all build incredibly successful YouTube channels that get us the exposure and the attention that we all deserve to build our careers and any businesses that we have, as actors. I've got to record a 5 to Thrive podcast episode, and I've got to prep my 5 Take Friday email. So I send an email out to everyone on the Acts on This email list every Friday, more or less every Friday, which has 5 takes from the week, 5 takeaways that I think people should go and have a look on the Acts on This website or anything that I've done that's going to benefit them. So that's going to go out on Friday. So I've got to do all that by the end of the week. Got 2 days left to get it all done. Then I've got within the next 30 days. Okay, so these are my short-term things that I need to do just within the next month. And they are things like, ConvertFlow here. Don't worry about it. You're not going to understand it. Again, it's a piece of software I'm going to use for actsonthis.tv to help with marketing. I've got to meet Felicity. She runs Surviving Actors. I've got to meet her in London. I've got to meet a girl called Hannah from Backstage in London. I've got to pay some commission out to Chris Stone. Shout out to him. I'm going to push David Martin for a podcast when I see him at the audition tomorrow. I'm going to push Amy Hubbard for a podcast as well. Spoke to her when I went to a read-through for Little Boy Blue that you might have seen this week. Great drama based on Rhys Jones, the poor little lad who was shot in Liverpool. Fantastic, super strong drama, stars Stephen Graham. But I worked with Amy at the read-through for that, so I'm going to push her for a podcast as well. I think that would be great for you guys to hear from. Going to book Bhavna. I think it's Limbatia. I think it's how you pronounce her name. She's an actress, an Asian actress from Coronation Street. Really cool girl. Again, think it'd be make it a really interesting podcast. She also plays a character in Citizen Khan. Have you seen Citizen Khan? So I think that's something that's quite interesting. I've had Adil Ray on the podcast from Citizen Khan. He's a great guy as well. Got to book Julie Hesmondhalgh in for a TV episode. Got to book Chris Eccleston in for a podcast as well. And then I've got another thing here, another Bulletproof Actor little bullet point here, which is me getting ready for some bonus guests that I'm going to line up for the next intake of Bulletproof Actor, which happens in June. If you want to sign up for that, or you want to find out more information on it, I only open the program up twice a year. The doors close. It's only open for 1 week, twice a year. It's a 5-week. It's the most in-depth positive psychology, science-backed positive psychology mindset program, specifically tailored for actors. It was the only one on the planet, but it's the most in-depth one I've ever seen. I've created it. It's effectively 10 years study on personal development and positive psychology put into a 5-week course, and it involves 33 videos, podcasts, live training with me online. It's awesome. Hang on, is that the old Doctor Who, says Fanny? Yes, it is. Chris Eccleston has been Doctor Who, absolutely. He's working with George Bukhari right now in something called the A Word. I had George on for a Acts on This TV episode not long ago. You'll find that on actsonthis.tv, and he's a friend of Chris's, so I'm going to persuade Chris to do a podcast with us. So someone just said, how do you move the bullet points around? Well, this is what's so easy and so great about this, guys. So if I went, right, you know what? I need to change my priority, and I'm moving the goalposts all the time, right? This isn't set in stone. If I struggle with something and go, you know what? I wanted to get all this done this week, but it's not possible, right? I can go, well, okay, I can move one of these. So say, for instance, I can't get hold of Nav. I hover over the bullet point here, just drag it, drop it in there. Oh, look, there you go. It's moved. And then what happens, what's brilliant about Workflowy is once every night throughout the night when you go to sleep, it's based on your time zone. You'll wake up to an email in the morning with a digest of everything that you completed yesterday and everything that you added. So you're constantly seeing progress, you're seeing development. Fanny said, how do you know if you're being lazy? Well, you can tell by your Workflow email in the morning, every morning, because if there's nothing on it, you were lazy yesterday. So I use this, guys, every single night to plan what I am doing today, this week, within the next 30 days, and then anything else. So Julie says, where does Evernote come in? So Evernote I use for my main... I can't show you Evernote because it's an app on my iPhone, unfortunately. But I use it really I use a template that I got from a guy called Michael Hyatt. And there'll be a lot of people on here who did Michael Hyatt's 5 Days to Your Best Year Ever program last December, because I was a big advocate of that and was promoting that for him because I've taken it for the last 3 years. It's a goal-setting program, and he gives you a template within that to actually use to set your goals within Evernote. So I use Evernote because effectively the template's been done for me and it's very easy to fill in the blanks. You don't have to use Evernote, but within that, basically, I have on the template, I have my goal, my compelling reason why I want to achieve that thing. I then have a list of actionable steps. And goal setting, the key to fulfilling and hitting your goals is really just to know what your next step is. You don't need to know all 20 steps. You don't need to know all 30, 40 steps that might be involved in that goal. You only need to know your next actionable step. So I keep track of what my next actionable step would be within Evernote. And then I will bring, I will have a look at that. I review Evernote every morning for 5 minutes, no more than that. You don't need to get too bogged down with this. 5 minutes, have a look at, remind myself of what I'm working towards right now. And then I can move any actionable steps that I want out of Evernote and make a note of them in Workflowy. There's probably a more efficient way to do it, to be honest. I could probably... find a nicer way maybe to do it all within Workflow, and I might end up doing that, for the next time I set goals at the end of this year. But right now I use Evernote and Workflowy. Caroline says you can't be vague. No, you can't. You've got to know exactly specifically what your next actionable step is, and your goals have to be so very specific as well. Your goals can't be anything like I want to earn more money next year, because it's just not specific enough. I could give you £5 and go, there you go, you've done it. But writing things down, guys, solidifies really your intention. It gives you clarity. Most people don't get stuff done because they have no clarity. You can't get anything done without clarity. It's literally the first building block of achieving anything. And by creating a punch list of the 3 things, it doesn't have to be more than 3. Don't overwhelm yourself. 3 things. They're just the 3 things I'm going to do tomorrow. My audition, sort my scripts out, and upload this replay to YouTube and put the audio on iTunes and Stitcher. So if you're listening on iTunes and Stitcher, shout out to you. Go and watch the replay of the video on actonthis.tv to actually see what we're talking about right now. Or just go to workflowy.com if you want to just get the app. But it's completely free, this, guys. There is a premium version of it where you get extra things, but I still haven't signed up for it. I've been using it a year and I still just use the free version. I've never needed it because I just use it very, very basically. And what you can do is you can click into, so say for instance I wanted to create another sub-bullet point within this, smash my audition phrase before beauty. I could click on it and then I can go, right, I want to add another bullet point. And it might just be something like, well, okay, in order to do that, let's just type this. I've already done this, obviously. I can't type tonight. Learn script. There you go. Oh no, there you go. Learn script. And then if I go back to here and expand that, then I can go, there you go. So I've got sub-bullet points within my bullet points, so you can break stuff down even further. And you can do that to an unlimited amount. I've written the hashtag here, Act on This TV. If I just click on this, bring up everything that's hashtagged Act on This TV. So you might want to hashtag things work, social, gym, anything like that, and you can just click on the hashtags and it'll just bring up the bullet points with those hashtags in. So it's just a really, really cool way to to keep an eye on everything you're doing and reclaim your agenda. So tonight's scope has all been about reclaiming your agenda, all right? So check out workflowy.com. If you're watching on the replay, I'll put a link in the description or on the blog post page if you're on actonthis.tv. But has that been useful for you? Are you going to reclaim your agenda? Are you going to begin smashing out, microphone's falling down, what you're going to do, what you want to do, what you want to achieve? Because if you don't write stuff down, guys, it's just so much easier to procrastinate and not get it done. Setting things out, being organised is important, says Caroline. Yep, says Julia. Hell yes, says Mary. Ross, did you check out the book, Stop Acting, Start Living yet? No, Brian, never heard of it, mate. Thank you for the heads up, though. If you think it's a good book and you want to recommend it for the book club, create a post in the Facebook group. I'll check it out. I feel I've already started, but working on doing it fully, says Steve. Yes, it's great, says someone else. Just downloaded Workflowy, says Mary. And so you can. So it's a web app you use in your web browser on your computer, and then you can download a little app to use on your phone, which is just mirrors what you do. So if you make a change on your phone and you go back to your web browser, the change will be there. If you make a change on your web browser and go to your phone, the change will be there. And like I say, you will get a email digest every day of everything you did yesterday and what you set up for today via your email. Yes, I have so much I should be doing, but aren't lazy, says Mary. You're not lazy, Mary. You just don't have clarity. Downloading it now, says Sam. It's great, guys. It's really, really good. So let me know how you get on with it. If you were listening on the audio experience, send me a tweet at ActOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant. Let me know how you're doing. And yeah, just start that punch list. Those 3 things you want to knock out. Call it a punch list because you've got to hit them the next day. Bang, bang, bang. Just 3 things, no more than that. It's habit, isn't it, says Carolina. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. You make it a habit, okay? And you're going to, and just be aware of this, guys, right? You're going to have some, you're going to be motivated to do this now because you're going to have some enthusiasm because you've been on this scope tonight, or if you're listening on the audio experience, you're going to be enthusiastic about it. Richard says, I like the workflowy idea. And smash that audition tomorrow. I will try, Rich. I will give it my all, mate. So you're going to have that motivation, and something called habit gravity is going to be working with you as you create this new habit. It's going to last about 3 days, and then you're going to start feeling tired at night and go, forget it, I'll do that tomorrow, or it's all right to miss a day. Be aware that's going to happen. It's going to become at its worst by between day 7 and day 21. But if you push on through and you do this every night for the next 30 nights, you will hit something called escape velocity, and you will be free. It will become part of what you do. It will be automatic, and you will miss not doing it when you don't do it. It's the same in any habit, the gym, eating healthy, whatever you've got in your life. So just be aware that's going to happen. So you will want to do this tonight. You're probably going to want to do it tomorrow. Come the weekend, you're going to probably go, it's the weekend, I'll let myself off. No, do it on a Saturday and do it on a Sunday as well. Even if the goals for the Saturday and Sunday aren't work related, they might be social related, they might be family time. Still write your goals down, okay? Someone just said, oh no, I'm going on day 3 of a morning walk. Must do it anyway. Yeah, Carrie May, okay? So day 3, you're probably going to be like, all right, yeah, okay. Day 4, you might start making excuses that you feel a bit tired or you're aching because you've done it for 3 days and you'll have a rest day. No. If we want to create positive habits, you've got to do it all in or nothing. It's the reason why I wanted to create a habit of doing these periscopes. And it's 179 tonight. I did the first 30 on consecutive days. I did one Periscope every night for 30 days, including a bank holiday and weekends, because I wanted to create a habit within myself, all right? And now I only do 2 a week because it is a habit, but to create that habit, I needed to do one every night for 30 days. Why have I not hit this point in nearly 6 weeks of my body challenge, Ross? It's getting harder. That's interesting, Fanny, actually. It depends what you... well, you know what? It will depend on you. What I find with when it comes out of health and fitness was seeing tangible results. You should see quite a big difference within 6 weeks within yourself. The 6 weeks when you go from not working out at all to really working out are like 6 of the most critical weeks in terms of seeing a real change quite quickly. It plateaus out after that for quite a while. If you're not seeing the results, I would look at what you are doing when you are not working out. And if you're sabotaging your work in the gym by saying, oh, well, I've worked out, so I can have this pizza, I can have these sweets because I've worked out, because you should be seeing results after 6 weeks. If you're not, look at your diet and what you're doing when you're not working out. I would have a look at that, because when you see the results tangibly, this is what it was like for me, when I could literally see the results in the mirror, it motivated the hell out of me, because I went, right, I can see this now. This is actually making a difference. And even if you might not be able to see it that much, but you might be able to feel it in terms of you might have more energy. Your clothes might fit better. But you should be seeing results after 6 weeks. If you're not, work harder, girl. You got to work a bit harder, or you've got to look at what you're doing when you're not working out. All right, look at your diet. Okay. Is critical, because only body composition is like, to get a good body composition, only 20% of it is workout, 80% of it's your diet, man. You've got to have a good understanding of nutrition, okay? There's a great guy who's pretty much my go-to guy called Luis Diaz, Luisdiaz. He does a podcast called Ask the Ab Guy. I've had him on for the Bulletproof Actor gang. I do some bonus webinars for them. I had him on talking all about high performance nutrition and fitness with them. He went into some awesome depth on the composition of your meals before and after the gym. I was eating a load of carbohydrates to fuel my gym sessions. Wrong, just wrong. You want to have protein before your gym, carbohydrates after the gym. I saw a huge difference just by swapping those 2 meals around. So I would fuel myself before the gym. I used to do it with porridge. Just bad. And then I'd have protein after the gym. Now I had the protein before the gym, porridge after. Saw a big difference again physically in my abs. Saw a lot of body fat lost over those few weeks after that. I heard you say about protein prior to the gym and started doing that. Good. What mic are you using? Someone just asked. I'm using something called a Rode Podcaster. Rode microphones sponsor Act on This. Massive shout out to @RodeMics on Twitter. Yeah, they're great. This is like 120 quid or something like that. It's USB. I use this to record a lot of voiceover demos on. It's great. Sam just did put a pretty good point there as well, Fanny. So the whole protein after the gym, protein before the gym, carbs after, does depend on what you're looking for. So I said to Lewis, I want to look at dropping body fat. That's if you want to drop body fat. Imagine if you want to bulk up. Sam is a trainer himself. He'll probably know better. So if you've got questions about that, ask Sam in the Facebook group. But for me, yeah, my aim was to lose some fat around my abs. So that's why I started having the carbs after the gym, not before. So there you go. So we've covered a bit of a varying level of things tonight, haven't we? We've gone from sorting our agenda out to sorting our bodies out in the gym. But I hope it's useful. But definitely, guys, use Workflowy. Let me know how you're getting on with it. I hope you found this useful. I'm going to be, like I say, publishing that 1-minute video on ultimately on success and making small decisions and focusing on the tiny decisions as opposed to the big decisions to have more success. That's going to be out on the Facebook page, facebook.com/ActOnThisTV on Friday morning. I'll also share that in the Facebook group as well. Look out for that. I would appreciate, you know what, when I launched that video just a few days ago about not giving a shit about what other people think of you online and still putting yourself out there and not worrying about other people's opinions. It's had about 3,000 views because all you guys were so kind enough to share it. I'm going to do more of this to kind of help spread this message more. I would so appreciate you spreading that video like you did the last one when it comes out on Friday as well. Massively appreciate you doing that. Have a great audition tomorrow, says Brian. You'll kill it. I hope so, Brian. Where have I seen you? Someone's just asked. I don't know, I get about a bit. Maybe online, I do a lot of interviews with actors online and directors. I'm an actor myself, so you might have seen me knocking around in a few different things. Sam, write that question again. You just said something about when you don't have something to do or something like that. What do you do on days, or do I ever have days where I don't have something to do? Let me know what the question was. But yeah, I don't know where you'll have seen us, but I do try and put myself out there quite a bit. Oh, guys, as well, right? All of you guys, I hope, are on Instagram right now. In terms of you set an account up. I know I did a Periscope a few weeks ago on the importance of Instagram for actors and just in life. I've heard some stuff from some major influencers and marketers today with the direction Instagram is going in. I won't say anything just yet, but oh my God, it's gonna, seriously, I'm quite happy because I know historically I'm going to be correct. It's so where people's attention is heading to. There's some killer stuff coming out for Instagram. If you're not building an audience on Instagram right now, you're going to lose in a couple of years' time. Are there any days that you have nothing to do on Workflow it, and what would you do to change it? Sam, there's no days, mate, where I don't have anything to do. There just isn't. I'm always at 100. I was born at 100. I wasn't born at 100 at all. I've got myself to the point where I kind of fill my days with as much as I possibly can. Not all work. I was very guilty of that in 2016, and I felt that really depleted my kind of like relationships with other people, to be honest with you. I didn't spend a lot of time with my friends, my family. I used to just put in too much. What I've learned, this is really critical, guys. I'll end on this. This is a little so it can be anything. So Sam, yeah, you can put anything in Workflow, mate. It doesn't have to just be acting related. Run your life off that, so you've got an agenda for everything, and you'll always have something to do. Have you done any strategy vids for building Insta audiences? Ricky, it's something that I actually, funnily enough, just thought about tonight. I'm going to start doing it 100%. I've only just started an Insta audience myself, mate. Literally a few weeks ago when I told everyone to do it. I only have like 500 followers myself. I've learned some incredible strategies over the last week, and I'm going to a conference in the start of May for 3 days. It's all about it. I'm going to bring a shit ton of stuff back that I can share with you guys. Yeah, my aim would be to build at least 20,000 followers by the end of this year. I think I can do it. So I'm going to share all that with you guys. I can't remember what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, this is the one thing I want to end on tonight. If you are trying to build anything, a business or your acting career, I learned in 2016, you will win way more often if you put yourself before your acting career. If you put yourself before your business. Most people get stressed out and get things wrong when they put their business before themselves or their acting career before themselves. And what I mean by that is when you get up in the morning, you've got to have a morning routine that you build your entire day on. You've got to have a foundation that gets you into peak state, that looks after you, whether that's healthy breakfast, working out, whatever that is, meditation, reading, being creative. You've got to put yourself first. Be completely selfish when it comes to that, to set yourself up, and then it can be about your acting career and your business. If you do it the other way around, you will fail. And that's something that I learned in 2016. So now it's all about me before my career. Do what makes you happy, says Maisie. Is that? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, honestly, guys, be a little bit selfish in a positive way. Look after yourself, because when you're in peak state, you can be of service to other people. You can't if you're in a bad mood or you're stressed. You're of no use to anybody. I'm filming my show reel in May, so can't wait. That's one thing of my main goals. Awesome. So Sam, right? You might have in your next 30 days then on your workflowy list, show reel. Make some sub points under that, some sub bullet points that will be source scripts, brainstorm on character ideas. Who's going to shoot it? Have you funded it? Do you need to save up? Do extra things to create more cash in your life to pay for it? Chunk everything down. Okay, don't just go, all right, I'm going to do that and I'll focus on that the night before. You'll create something that's not very good. You won't just do yourself justice. Start planning your agenda now. Okay, you'll find it pays dividends down the line. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for spending all this time with me. That is bang on 10 o'clock, so we've been bang on an hour tonight, so I will end it there. Appreciate you on the audio experience, on YouTube, on Act on This. Massive thanks for being here. Thanks, Ross, says Mary. Thanks. Cheers, Lucy. Cheers, Maisie. Cheers, Steve. Everyone say good luck. Appreciate it. I'll let you know how the audition goes. I think I'm going to smash it. It's very like my casting bracket, so that's why I'm confident. Got a run, says Rich. Enjoy Miami, Rich. Have a good day over there, and get work flowy. Smash tomorrow, you'll be great. Blow them away. Thanks so much. Thanks guys for all your comments. Massively appreciate it. Really, really do. I'll be back on Monday night for some motivation and mind hacks. No idea what it's going to be on, but join me again. Subscribe on Periscope. Tweet me, as always, at ActOnThisTV. Tag me in your Instagram stories, at ActOnThisTV. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me, at ActOnThisTV. It's at ActOnThisTV on everything. But follow me because I'll give you loads of behind-the-scenes stuff. I post on my Instagram story multiple times a day. You can see all about what I'm up to behind the scenes. Proper exclusive content of me in studios, talking to people that I just don't publicise anywhere else. But on Instagram, and hopefully you'll pick up some really cool stuff on there. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Appreciate you. Thanks again. Thanks to everybody watching on Twitter and just wherever you're seeing or hearing this. Come and join me next time. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Bye for now.